Good evening, I'm Adventure Argonaut. This is Hyaku Monogatari, Honto Atta, Kowai, Hanashi. Spooky Japanese game from the 90s. Visual novel that's more novel than anything else. But let's just see that the streams are working until I get to the next candle and the next story. Let's make sure that everything is functional. Dun, 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 dun. Nope. Kick and twitch, fine, but rumble and party. Oh, okay, now rumble is working. Okay, how about party? Are we partying hard or hardly partying? I guess hardly partying. Okay, now it shows live. Okay, okay, we are set. We are ready to go. Okay, okay. Very nice. Bloody noise. Okay. Yes, so without further ado, let's press the button and see what kind of story we get. Ilgaku pension. What's that? L shaped. Ah, no, it's not Gaku, it's G. Okay, L-shaped pension. I guess it's like a house that's L-shaped in Saitama, and Adachi Minayo is the protagonist of this story. And another candle is burning. So deep night, there were when unexplained noises continue late at night in the deep dead of night. Everyone would feel fear, right? Especially through in a pension. So is the so pension is the some sort of house or apartment, I think. So yeah, this is especially true in a, well, let's say it's a house far from the noise and sounds of the city. Goto, goto, goto. Rumble, rumble. What was that noise? Minayo is not like is not allowed to sleep in the room. No, it's like beginning to regret sleeping in the room, or maybe trying to sleep in the room. So Minaya took advantage of the long weekend, and a friend, his friend Aota's father runs a restaurant, and so they come to visit. So does it mean that it was the dad and the friend, or just the dad, or just the, like, so the room assigned to Minayo, it's the lower right corner of the L-shaped building. It was room 104. And Minayo, that room, the ghosts keep coming out. Um, Look, there's a room in the hotel with the number 4 in it. I guess like in hotel there is no room number 4, because in Japan and East Asia usually number 4 is associated with death, so it's unlucky to have lots of fours and stuff. Anyways, don't scare me. Ha ha ha. It's bullshit. I'm kidding. And looking back on it now, the conversation they had before going to bed somehow bothered me. Boom, roll or rumble, rumble, or roll, roll, roll. A round chair in front of the dressing table suddenly fell over and started rolling. Okay, that's creepy. Whose prank is this? Just get out of here already. Minayo is staring into the darkness beneath the dressing table, and she cried out because she was scared. And then under the table, so there was something with only like the eyeballs shining under the table. And when Minayo's eyes got used to the darkness, and like the some parts of the body other than the eyeballs also started to become visible. The eye staring at Minayo, bloodshot like a sword, the skin of the body had rotted away, and foul odor was coming from its toothless mouth. Blech. And it was not a living human being. So behind, so as she screamed, like it appeared behind her in the darkness, a white, undefined face. It sort of filled the room or something. What's with this room? And suddenly somebody grabbed them by the ankle, or Minayo. And when I looked down, I saw a dead who appeared like seaweed in the sea and was clinging to Minayo's legs or leg. Whoosh! The dead lurking in the darkness. Uh, there were like the they were biting the living, and they were trying to fill their hunger or satisfy their hunger. So in a frenzy, Minaya shook off the dead and finally ran out of room 104. And then ran into Aota's room. Seeing Minayo shaking with fear, something extraordinary had happened to, or like rather, I guess, Aota like began to understand that something extraordinary had happened, I guess. So Atta rushed in over like in concern, and Minaya cried out because of fear, and she was in danger or something. What's going on in that room? There's something. Do something. Uh, Perhaps because of fear, Minaya's words didn't make any sense. But that room, all she had to do was ask out. So Alta hesitated to accept her tearful protests, and like heavily opened his mouth, I guess, to explain. So according to Alta's story, that uh, people who stay in the room, they see strange things, or strange things happen to them. Some people even die. There are rumors like that about the room, and they just put her there. What an asshole! And so rumors spread among their friends that they haven't used their pension for 5 years, and thought it's okay now. And now they like decided to have a try at it. Something like that. But um, but it's their owner. Like even the dad doesn't know who the owner is. So after hearing the whole story, Minai, like after hearing the story, because of the bad luck, she started to cry about her, I guess, horrible experience. So the next day, they left and returned to Tokyo in under, like under with a heavy heart, I guess. And Aota immediately went to his or maybe her father's company, and asked about or explained about, I guess, asked about the yesterday's stuff. What's that place? Like is a ridiculous haunted house, or like crazy or something haunted house. Uh, don't say that. So it's gonna, I don't know, disgrace me or something if you say that. Wait, look at the rooms at the pension are not in a U shape, but in a E shape. No, I shape, not E, I shape. Um, with with 4 rooms, or like no, there are. No, there's five rooms with L shape, and 4 with I shape. And there are four four rooms with like bad luck or something. Huh? So did Minayos end up staying in a room that doesn't exist? Uh, I guess because the, okay, maybe say it like that. room ending at 4. Maybe it doesn't exist normally. So Atta was trembling in fear due to and confused and stuff. All right. And another candle down. Creepy candles. Save and go to the next one. Uh, like Doll of Darkness or something in it's from Hokkaido and Anonymous. In the darkness, bind them. Wait, um, I think I recognize the kanji. Yes, I often get sleep paralysis. Okay, we caught one. We caught one sleep paralysis. So recently the number of times has increased, and when you're about to be paralyzed, like I sort of like understand, I guess, when it's starting to happen, something like that. So when have a certain experience, I've I become aware that I will be paralyzed. But in the end, uh, couldn't do anything and fell asleep. So no matter how many times you experience the sleep paralysis, so you don't get used to it, I guess. Especially when you know you're going to get paralyzed. It's very unpleasant, like going to bed like that. Um, however, based on many experiences, when I feel sleep paralysis come close, I when I feel sleep paralysis coming, I guess I close my eyes and try not to think about it. So this is the most effective method. But that day, something little strange happened. So right after I was going to bed, and as expected, I was paralyzed by sleep paralysis. What? I can't close my eyes? This is the first time this has happened. Although the body cannot move, the eyes can still look around at the things around them. No matter how hard I try, I can't close my eyes. My heart felt like it was gonna burst from the greatest fear I've ever experienced. So in the room, I heard a sound of a door opening, and the hallway, uh, something was coming towards me from the hallway. I believed it was my mom, and I desperately cried out for help. or in my mind, I guess, called for help, or in my heart. Mom, help me! Come over to me, please. What? Oh yeah, it's the doll. It's the name of the story. Uh, it suddenly appeared in the darkness. The shadow was not my mom. The shape, yeah, the shadow was wearing a light pink kimono. It was a child. Oh, yeah, that looks creepy. You're right about that. With my dry eyes, I was looking at the child, trying to endure the approaching fear, and while desperately chanting sutras. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida. So that's like a Buddhist prayer or something, like sort of helping Buddha or something. Help me, Buddha, you're my only hope. So how much time has passed? I don't know, but after a while, suddenly my eyelids closed and everything went dark before my eyes. And then the next time I opened my eyes, the child had disappeared from the room and seems to have disappeared. And the sleep paralysis uh, as was over. And next day, I told my mom about the experience. Mom wasn't particularly surprised because she knew I had had sleep paralysis many times before. But I think it was just yesterday's anomaly, and when I thought about the phenomenon, I couldn't help but like complain about this to my mom or tell her. I I have my doubts that there's somebody in my chat claiming that they're talking about me in some random Discord server. Sounds like a trap. Um, so yeah, when I think about the phenomenon, I have to like complain or I don't know share with my mom. And did my mother like know how I felt? And then I called to my grandmother who nodded. So my grandfather is very psychic person and often gives advice on spiritual phenomena. So the method is to take the counselor's hand and just close your eyes. So so the mom grandmother like could understand the appearance and the feelings of spirits. I guess when she touched you or held your hand. So I told my grandmother in detail about the sleep paralysis and the ghost of the child that appeared the night before. Then the grandmother, with a practice touch, she took my hand and I guess gently closed my eyes, or maybe closed my eyes with her hand. About a minute later, grandmother spoke with great difficulty. Ah, maybe she's been possessed now. Hmm. I see. This happened to me yesterday too. This is the child who came. Right, I'm getting too much spam in my chat. Same kind of spam. Normally I don't mind, but now it's like I don't know. It's too much. Um. Anyway, the child who came, like even the grandmother. I was surprised and I was listening to her stories or something. Her prattling on, I guess, about her psychic wisdoms. So, according to her story, around 11 p.m. when my grandmother fell asleep, and my body started to itch, and I woke many times. Who's that? Who is it? Oh, Korea Kowai. How cute. Is there something I can help you with? Um, Let me know and I will listen. Oh, poor thing. After that, like quick, Granny. So I urged my grandmother and rushed the conversation forward. I want to know what it is. And then the grandmother smiled kindly and pointed at the cupboard behind me. Try to open it. So I was skeptical, but when I opened the cupboard, dun dun dun, I found a Japanese doll wearing a light pink kimono that looked just like the child that had appeared in my room last night. So the grandmother said that for some reason the doll was a stillborn baby and seemed like it was following me. Creepy. So if I take the doll out of the cupboard and offer it as a memorial, I was told like that would be okay to do it. So I immediately took the doll out of the cupboard and gave it to my grandma. Oh, there's an insect here. By no means, I want it out quickly, you know. So it's the insect is the true demon. So my grandmother looked in the back of the doll. There was a dead insect. But then she removed the insect And then the doll was enshrined. So maybe now, maybe the insect was causing it to be cursed or something. It's still on the bookshelf in my room. It stands quietly as the guardian deity in my room. So in the cupboard of your home, uh, or everybody's home home's shelf has like some painful story, or like doesn't the home of everybody, every house have like a doll with a painful story behind it or something like that. I said I should let you out quickly, but it might get scary. Alrighty. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to save. All right. Let's go to the next story then. Nothing else to do in that area with the candles. What's this? So it's in Osaka, anonymous, but what's the title? Memorial service. Okay, memorial service. So normally, generally, spiritual experiences are only attended by a small number of people, or rather, I guess, like only small number of people have them. But in this case, the number of people experiencing it at the same time was like a whole school of several hundred students. A very rare case. Are they floating? So this is it happened at a high school in Osaka, and every year every year on the anniversary of the school founder's death, a memorial service is held, and The event happened on such a day. The memorial service is just to inform everyone about the memorial service is for the deceased to report the latest developments to school. So it has no, I guess it doesn't have any particular religious meaning, and no monk ever came to the service. So so yeah, I don't know, it's some formality, bureaucratic formality. I don't know, and not really a religious thing. The altar is decorated with a portrait of the founder, as well as photographs of school and university. Wait, is it university? The school? No, it's not university. Photographs of people associated with the school who have died away, gone away. And that year I was close to graduation, but I got sick. There were photos of students who had died. And I get more spam in my chat. They really like to spam. It's the same bot from many different accounts, or something, spamming the exact same message. How curious. So over the past few years, photos of students have been displayed. So because there was like, I don't know, I guess it's like no students. Wait, this is over the past few years, students' photos haven't been displayed, I guess. And but now there was a student's photo, so it stood out. Okay, I think that's how it's supposed. What's what it means. So next, from the principal, who has something to tell you. So the principal approached the altar. Lights went out where the students were, and the only the altar was white and dim, and it emerged or like rose up or something. Why does it like float creepily, or is it like the mechanism to make it, cool? So the principal. So after he started talking, he or she, let's call it he. So they heard a strange noise. It was a strange noise. It was a very small sound. At first, students who heard it said it, or they thought it was just their imagination. But the sound got louder, and they realized it wasn't just their imagination. And so it started to buzz for everybody in the hall. Quiet, no talking. Zava meki hachimeta. Konnichiwa, konnichiwa, oops, blue genie. Unable to bear it any longer, the principal stopped speaking, and I like he warned the students. Oops. And sound reached most of the people in the venue, and the students could hear it. Okay. Hey, look. Hey, it's true. I also see it. Huh? What on earth is this? That's could it be? Is I it's not so impressive to read hiragana. I wish I could also read like thousands of kanji. I can read few hundred maybe, but no, it's not. Hiragana isn't so tough. But thanks. Next to the photo on the altar, there was a bright white flickering shadow. It appeared there. I don't know what's going on. For a moment, time froze in the venue, and at that moment, the students were seeing the exact same phenomenon. Strangely, um, they, they didn't feel any fear. Um, it's the person in the photo, the third year student who had died. So it looked like he was crying and was sad. And a warm feeling felt swelled up in the hearts of the students, and some of them were in tears as well. Probably with the student in the older photo, they were like probably good friends with it. I'm translating. I am using an app. Like I do know some Japanese, but there's like some very difficult kanji, so I do need an app for some of it. But some of the stuff I can translate by myself. Um, Eventually, white people suddenly disappeared, and I guess the white ghostly thingies or shadows, whatever, and the memorial service had come to an end. And appearing in front of all the students was probably the spirit of the student who had returned to say his final farewell. And after that, um, so the mourning the deaths of those who had passed away. So the memorial service. So that I guess that was like a heartfelt memorial service for the people who had passed away, something like that. Okay. Ah, that's it. Okay, cool. Let's save and go to the next story. We're not even halfway through yet, but almost, almost. So it's gonna take a while still. Special story. Okay, this is one of these. These ones I don't really understand because it's just speaking, some guy talking in Japanese, and also a bit difficult to hear on top of it also. Let's see what's this. So something child calling death. Okay, shi o yobu kodomo. Okay, now because the kanji, sometimes they're a bit difficult to see. But okay, now I get it. Yes, child calling death or calling for death, something like that.
一人でもカメラを持ってですね、あっちこっちと出歩くのが好きなやつがいるんですよ、仲間内でね。ちゃんと会社に勤めてますけども、大体だと代理店みたいなことですから、自分のスケジュールで動くんですけど、これはそれ趣味なんですよね。で、大変な旅をするんですが、なんかあると、私にそこから連絡くれたりもしてたんですけどね。最近もたまたまその真実を調べたことないんですが、こいつがたまたま先生に乗って、怪我しちゃって、なんかこう、もうちょっとだって言ってたんですよね。で、ダメだ、帰れない、連絡はあったんですよ。で、そう、お前な、たまにはそういうふうにしたらいいよって言ってたんですよね。で、その後、気にはなって連絡したんですが、彼が突然現れて、電話 が来たのがそれから、まあ、1週間ぐらい経ったんですかね。おい、俺もう帰ったと思ったんだけどさ、病院長く居すぎちゃったよって言うんですよ。俺も絶対今日帰るからなって言うんですよね。何があったんだよって言いながら、これで話すの怖いから帰ってから話せって言うんですよ。彼が病院に入って、まあ、あちこちこうね、具合悪いってんで、見てもらうわけですよね。まあ、もうちょっと判断しないとやったらしいんですが、まあ、それはと定かじゃないんですけどね。で、まあ、1週間ぐらい残って入院して治るというような話だったんで、じゃあまあいいやってんで、私に電話入れたらしいんです。で、ところが、なんとかしっかりしてるわけですから、動くに動けるわけですよね、彼は。別にそんな具合悪いわけじゃないんですよ。で、早く仕事でもって、ましてや今小さな診療所みたいなもんですから、やることなんてね、しょうがないからあっち見たりこっち見たりするんですよ。で、まあ、寝ちゃうよって。で、ゴロって横になったら、なんかドアが、いーって開いたんですね。ドアが開いたのかな。そしたら、なんか、ふわーって明るいのが出てて、で、パタってなってますよ。なんだ、看護師さんかいって言うんですよ。その看護師がトコトコトコトコと寄ってきて、並びのベッドが一つあるんですが、そのベッドのところに立ってるんですよ。で、そこで、なんかじーっと見てるんだそうですよ。なんだろうって言ったら、子供なんだそうですね。そのうちに、前から机がトン、トン、トン、トンと音がして、それで、クスクスっと歩いてるのが来たと思ったら、また、いーって音がしますよ。なんだろう、この夜中に。で、開けようと思ったら、バタバタバタバタって動いてるんですが、何があったんですって聞いたら、並びのベッドの方が亡くなられたと。そんな悪そうに見えなかったけどって言ったら、急に昨日亡くなりました。あ、そう。気の毒だね。で、その夜、またかかってきてね、そしたら、いーっと音が鳴ったそうですよ。なんだと思ったら、昨日のことが歌ってたんですよ。あれ、あの子確か、亡くなった人のベッドで昨日いた子だな。なんだと思ったら、ふらふらふらふらあちこち見てるわけですよ。で、自分のベッドの上に来るもんだから、とぼけちゃおうってやつだし。で、その日の夜なんだけども、その翌日、また、いーって開いたら、こう当たってるんですよ。あれ、何なんだろうなと思ったら、トン、トン、トン、トン、周りの音がしてね。それで、また、自分の並びのベッドに並んで、じーっと見てるわけですよ。で、そのうちにクスクスっと歩くと思ったら、また、トコトコトコと歩いて、ドアがバタンと閉まったとね。よし。いや、まさか。で、朝になったら、また病院の中が騒がしい。バタバタバタバタ人が動いてね。どうしたんですかって言ったら、あの方が亡くなった。え、看護師さん、ところで、この病院に子供入院してんのって聞いたら、いや、そんな子いません。夜子供来たって言ってたんだけどって言ったら、いや、そんなはずはないですよ。これ病院に子だけだし、ましてや、そんな子たちなんか預かったりしないし、夜だから、ましてやね、そういう子供が訪ねてくるわけがない。じゃあ、身寄りでもなきゃ、入院の人って一体あの子何なんだと思ったけど、まあ、それで聞くのもなんだから、まあいいや。それで、ベッド入った瞬間に、一番最初に行った時に、その子にもらったところっていうのは、亡くなった人で、次にやってきて、やっぱりベッドに立って、じーっと覗き込んで笑ってた人、そこが亡くなった。あの子がこの人死んじゃうのかと思って。
Okay, let's pause for a moment because I wanted to play the thing first, but like, oops, Blue Jean says that his name is Junji Inagawa, a well-known storyteller of ghost tales in Japan, and Kaidenshi is a professional who specializes in telling scary stories. Okay, yeah, I was thinking he's probably some sort of like famous person, or at least was. He says, I cannot speak or understand spoken English, but I am able to read English text. I use AI translation for everything except Japanese. Okay, okay, so you don't understand. 私も日本語ちょっとわかるけど、最近あまり日本語を話す機会がないので、ちょっとたくさん忘れてしまった。
で、順番がどうでも自分もどっちですよね。冗談じゃないぞ。俺にはこんなだろうな。来るわけない。俺はこんな病気だし、大したことじゃないんだから。もう退院するんだからな。でも部屋変わってもらおうかなと思ってた。でも呆れられないからしょうがない。ね、二人に黙って部屋もう一言ぐらいですからね。その人、夜中になったら、子供が鳴った。それが、トン、トン、トン、トン、までつけてきましたが、どんどんどんどんどんどん近づいてきた。それで、後ろのベッドの横の方で、じーっと横になる。目開けて、おう。そしたら子供が黙って自分見てるんで、帰れ、帰れよ。俺はまだ死なねえからな。お前なんか殺されてるんだよ。帰れ、帰れよ。子供がまだじーっと見てる。帰れ、バカ野郎。お前なんか大嫌いで。帰れ、バカ野郎。言ったら、その子がスーッとまだね、歩いてるんです。トントントンと歩いてきながら、二度と来るなよ。ふわふわ叫んでる。そしたら、その窓の方で、くーっとしてきた子供が、すごい音がしますので、口を開けて子供になっているんですよね。あれはね、死神なんだぜ、純ちゃん。言ってましたよね。
Creepy kids. Okay. So that was, yeah, I didn't really understand what was going on. Like, I could understand words here or there, but like overall, like, no, it was muri. Uh, you can speak Japanese is impressive. Japanese is such a complex language, isn't it? Sort of. Yes, it's like the Bumpo は時々ちょっと難しいですね。はい。言葉もたくさんあるから、全部覚えられない。Okay, let's go to the next story. But yeah, I said that Japanese grammar is sometimes complicated, and also there's many words to remember. I guess that's the this is a psychic map thingy. But yeah, the most difficult thing about learning languages, I think, is just there's many words. It's difficult to remember lots of words, at least for me. So this is Masakado neck mount. Okay. Well, I guess we can go. How many are there still? What's this? This is Miyagase Rainbow Bridge. Rainbow Bridge to Valhalla. I know. Let's save the Rainbow Bridge for last. Report. So the grudge of Taira no Masakado is still told and feared in various forms today. Um, There are many theories about Masakado's final moments, but one of them is that he was shot in the head by an arrow and decapitated in Kyoto. Kyoto. And after after being put on display, the head is said to have been flown to the Kanto region in search of the body, or it flew itself. Okay, it flew. So according to like I guess some stories, the neck hurts every night, and so where's my body? Come to me. My let's take turns fighting. It says okay. Chat says, unlike English, Japanese allows for a lot of flexibility with grammar, and the message usually gets still gets across. In English, word order is crucial. So as long as I can catch the subject and the verb, I can usually understand the general idea. But honestly, I'm still at the level of picking up individual words here and there, guessing the meaning. Yeah, it's like I guess yeah, because the well, I think like Japanese the sentence or the grammar and the sentence structure is more vague. Like it's less mathematic. It's not like mathematical formula like English is a bit more like that. So that makes it sometimes difficult to understand the actual meaning, and I can't really. そんなことは日本語説明できない。難しすぎる。Umete itasore. So it's apparently he's moaning. Okay, that Tyron or whatever his name was, and it was at this grave that his head fell. So his head fell at the grave, and this place is in the middle of the city, but nobody can reach the place. But so it's so quiet as if time has stopped there. So the cameraman, uh, Tashiro, photographer or cameraman, whatever, was tasked with taking pictures of the grave for work, and he was getting ready to take the picture. And I headed for the grave without. He headed to the grave without even a map, and his office is in Ginza, just nearby Masakado's grave. Oh, so rich guy if it's in Ginza, right? However, I had passed by the grave many times, or he had passed by the grave many times, and he should have the location memorized. So it still took a long time to reach the grave, I guess. And he had gotten lost in a place that he knew as well as his own backyard. Okay. It was as if someone was blocking their way to the grave or his way. In the end, though, the shooting was completed without incident, the photo shoot. And Tashiro-san said that he felt someone was watching him the whole time he was filming. And is there an inaccessible spiritual energy in the tomb? So apparently, in the past, GHQ had tried to demolish their grave several times. Don't know what is GHQ. I guess it's some government office or something. Apparently, whenever they tried to start the construction work, casualties occurred, so they eventually gave up. This is the largest site of vengeful spirits in Japan, and the grudge of Masakado still lingers there. Okay, access. This is the most interesting part. Okay, directions. Okay, on foot. So Otemachi subway station, approximately 1 minute near Otemachi intersection. Okay, and here so horror is 5. And atmosphere is 5, and sightings 4, curse 5. Okay, this is the first 5-star location or 5-flame location. Okay, like the story didn't really reflect it. Like, yeah, sure, it was like ominous and stuff, but didn't really, like, the sightings didn't really mention of. Okay, the sightings are lower, but still. It just said it's, like the atmosphere. Just said it's peaceful or quiet. I don't know. I think that scores don't really match the story we got. Okay, the other dimensional space surrounded by buildings is pretty scary. But at least we got another candle down. All right. Where are we heading this way this time? Okay, this is in Aomori. And the strange story of K House, Miss Mu-san, Aomori Prefecture. It's K House, like Korean house. Uh, so when I was in the first year of junior high school, the name of the apartment where I lived was, oh, where did I? I was the K House, K Housing, something like that. And K Residence, that sounds good. Resident K. I experienced a number of strange events there. I can't reveal the names or locations, but extraordinary events happen almost every day. For example, something like this happened. It's about my sister and my room. So at that time, my sister and I lived in the same room. We slept together. Uh, so we slept together and usually went to bed around 10 o'clock. However, strangely, around 12 o'clock, so they might wake up around 12 and then look around the room and be surprised or amazed. Uh, Creepy face thingy. It's not an optical illusion. The poster on the wall of the room becomes creepy at midnight and smiles. Be starting my own stream now. I followed you. Thanks. I'll be back. Hey, thanks. I'll probably follow you too. Yeah. Nice meeting you and all that. And have a nice stream. So the posters are all creepy. And the next day, uh, I would always get a high fever, and for some reason, my left eye would become severely swollen. And that happened about 3 times. And that's not all. In the room, there are 2 doors, each of which is a living room. And no, no, that doesn't make sense. So there's 2 doors, and I guess maybe both of them lead to the living room still. Okay, maybe. Living room and something else. Not sure, whatever. They lead somewhere. I guess it's the living room and the entrance. Like maybe they're out, going outside. So there's something strange on the entrance side. White ghost. At midnight, the door was opened. A white figure passed in front of me, and there was some white figure passed. So recently, been seeing dark shadows even during the day, and even my mother tells me, like she won't believe it. Why? Okay, she won't believe what I tell her or my story. Apparently, only me and my sister can see it. So there are lots of other strange things happening as well. So in the K residence, there's a small park in the courtyard. So there's a swing, like 2 swings. At midnight it gets quiet, or maybe shaking. I guess the swing shakes by itself. It's not Shakespeare, it's shake swing. Yes, you come here for the cutting humor. Anyways, as usual, Shitsi, who is Shitsi? Let's go. Yeah, there's no Shitsi. So there's a bench. Like there's some things as strange. So like there's strange happenings there almost every day, like on the bench and something. I don't know. Confused. Uh, so this sort of stuff. There's also I was sleeping in my room, and our someone was coughing by the bedside, like coughing and walking by the bedside. And I don't really understand, like cannot understand the form properly of what it is. Like the hands and the feet sometimes look blurry, and then like the looks like the outside of the room disappears. Like does it mean like the outer world seems to disappear, like outside of the room? Uh, I still remember how scared I was. I couldn't believe it, or you may not believe it. But in reality, I was in danger. I'm in danger. I should really get some soundboard and stuff and get Ralph Wiggum. I'm in danger. Seems to be very useful. So this is true. Okay, so they're not gonna specify about the danger and stuff. Oh, wait. This is from an elderly person. Heard it from them recently. Wait, is this like a new story or still? Okay, this is still okay. Okay, it's like a different story from the K house, I guess. So apparently there was a small base there before the K residence was built, like a military base or something. Is it just a coincidence? I don't think so. There must be souls that cannot rest in peace even now, and they I guess they believe it to be their home, this place. Since the ghosts have become familiar to me. I believe they become familiar with me. Maybe there's one near you. Um, oh, there's a black shadow behind me. Shadow? What am I saying? That sounds like the end for a horror movie. Look, there's a black shadow behind me. Alright, let's just start another candle. But hey, 50% of the candles are done finally. So it's still gonna take a while to get this done. It's like I'm intrigued by this, but also like I feel like I want to play an actual game with gameplay. So that's like the double-edged sword. Like I do think the story, most of the stories are interesting. So mother and child on a winter's day, and it's Fukushima Prefecture. Interesting. Ando Wakana. On such a winter's day, California dreaming, California dreaming. Fukushima. For some reason, about 2 years ago, I started seeing ghosts and hearing rapping sounds. Well, I don't think it's okay. Rapping, I guess it doesn't mean like rap hip hop. It's like rap, like rats in the walls or something. So This is because of an incident I saw with a parent and a child. So that was last winter, last year's winter when I was in high school still. A view from the train window that I remember is beautiful scenery and impressive buildings. It's very normal or ordinary. But in my case, it's an unmanned station. I guess the train station. I used to go to school with the train from the unmanned station, I guess. So from the train window, I watched the station. The area around the station is mountainous and nobody getting on and off the train, and now it's just become a ruin. And strangely, I loved looking at the station. Station. So that day too, I was standing near the door, looking out of the window. As usual, the train arrived at or passed through the unmanned station. What? Are? I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw the unusual scenery. Uh, I saw the platform of the unmanned station, and there was a strange figure on it on the platform. Was it a Warhammer figure? So it's the are they here to like scale the mountains or like hike on the mountains? The figure looks like parent and child carrying a backpack on their backs. Uh, and they were wearing hats that looked like air raid hoods on their heads. Yeah. No, what exactly is an air raid hood? I'm not quite sure. Ohio, good morning. What's the name? Whatever, somebody's name. Wakana. Ah, yeah. And good morning, Mari. What are you looking at? Hey, Mari, the parent and child. Where? Then they were gone. Next time looked out of the window, the parent and child were no longer there. Very classic. So immediate checked with my friend, but she hadn't even noticed that there was an unmanned station there. But I did see it, or see them. Two people who looked like mother and child. But dressed like that and going mountain climbing, like I guess they were standing at the deserted station dressed like they were going to go mountain climbing. But it's weird mountain climbing. It's summer. No, it's like in the summer it makes sense, but now it's December and in the middle of winter nobody climbs mountains. And that's true. So maybe I saw it wrong. Yeah. At the time I was convinced by what my friend said, but in my heart I didn't agree with it. There was no way I could do it. I guess no way to agree. And since then, every day I search for the parent and child on the train, but never saw them again. There they are. I see them. Catch them. Where's your Pokeball? Spring came and I went to a company in Tokyo. I decided to get a job and started living alone. So because of that, I forgot all about the parent and child. But then time passed. So it was July. The, the month in the calendar became July. I guess more accurate way of saying what it or translating it. As usual, I invited a colleague over after work and we were telling ghost stories at a coffee shop that we frequent. I know it sounds a bit weird, like telling ghost stories in a coffee shop, but it's like doesn't sound like it's gonna be very atmospheric. It's 3 p.m. and the story was about to begin. It was about to end. I guess their story sessions at no, it's 8 o'clock. This is my app is. I'm too reliant on the app, and now the app is going crazy. So it was 8 p.m. and I guess yeah, the conversation was nearing an end. That sounds reasonable. Well, I'm gonna. This is gonna be the last one. This is a story I heard from my grandmother. Ooh. Okay, start. So it's the war. So like immediately after the war, end of the war, city was in ruins, and the station was full of people. There was lots of vitality there, and so people who survived the war and the people who evacuated to the countryside returned to their hometowns in the hope that they could go home. So they were puffing their chests, hopefully, I guess, that they could, or that they were going back home. And then one day, okay, train accident. So many autists killed. Train was not at the station. It was supposed to be. It crashed over the platform and flipped over. So the, the hopeful people, the hope at the station, I guess, just transformed into a blood-stained platform. The disaster caused the loss of many lives, or many lives were stolen. At least 150 people died, or about 300 and 300 were injured. That's quite a lot. Since then, when the train stops at the station, the ghost of a mother and child appears. The mother and child reach the next station and or then they disappear. I'm not sure. It's like does it mean the mother and child or when the train reaches the next station? But anyway, they disappear. The spot is said to be slightly damp. It said that shows that somebody definitely was there. Okay. And it's like we are here. It's like they're saying we are here. It's the dampness. I don't know. And two of them were wearing air raid hoods on their heads and a backpack on their backs. So when you see those, you should be more careful of traffic accidents. Is it a traffic accident, like if you're, I don't know, running around and then you spill your cocaine? Because it's, trafficking. So that's the end of the story. Oh, yeah. Don't end it. What what eki is that? What station? What station? It's probably near Wakana's parents' house. So an unmanned station near the high school. Uh, Dun dun dun. All right. Uh, to be honest, I was shaking with fear. And after all, what I saw that time, it was a ghost, or they were ghosts. So at that time, the mother and child, they were in on that unmanned station. So those two, what did they say to me, or what did they want to say? So yeah, also be careful of traffic accidents. Well, what does it mean that you have to be careful of traffic accidents? Well, I guess it means like if you die in a traffic accident, you might become a ghost. I don't know why is it like a question. So I was anxious. Okay, another one bites the dust. Let's do maybe a couple more. Still, eternal regret, eternal sadness, or infinite sadness. That was that one guy in Street Fighter. Was it Street Fighter 4 when he loses? I don't remember the character's name, but it was so funny. Anyways, it's Kanagawa Prefecture and PN Hyaku-san. Okay. So Eternal Grudge sounds like a classic Japanese horror movie. So south of the border. So Minami, yeah, because I'm confused because the first kanji on the top left means south, but it's sort of like maybe it means it's a name like Minami. So Minami first encountered psychic powers when he was, or she probably was first. No, it says he. Okay, okay, was first year in like a mid junior high school or middle school. It all started with Kokuri-sama, which was very popular among them. Yeah, okay. So we've had another Kokuri related story, and also I think there's one of the demons that you can fight in Persona 1 is Kokuri. But in the other story, they called it Kokuri-san, but now it's Kokuri-sama. Sama is more like, more respectful or something. So maybe it's leveled up Kokuri. It's no slouch Kokuri, this one. At first, I entered the spiritual world for fun, or like, or I guess Minami like did it for fun to like enter the spiritual world, and he was awakened to his psychic abilities, and the connection became so deep that it could no longer be considered a game. So yeah, Minami's psychic ability is a third year middle school student. Like he even surprised himself how like strong he'd become in that. So you could freely control your mind, and around this time it started to happen. Stuff began to happen. So Minami was floating around saying, "Empty your mind," and spirits become endlessly visible. So the spirits um, that know of their existence. Yeah, spirits known to those who know of their existence. They usually come to Minami for help, but he kept his like heart closed to them to protect himself or something. Minami reunited with this middle school friend, this 19-year-old, like when he was 19. So he was having trouble with expenses, went to an interview to get another part-time job in addition to his current one. Um, a certain first-time employee uh, came for an interview at a food restaurant. So and while waiting for the manager, Minami heard a familiar voice from behind. Are, Minami-kun, that's you, right? I'm Iwata. Nice to see you. Yeah, nice to see you. A long time no see, maybe. My friend Iwata introduced me to his manager. and Minami ended up working at the store. And Minami had a daytime part-time job, and so as not to overlap, it chose a job cleaning the store late at night. And one day he was at closing time, was approached by a high school student. Minami-san, right? Next, like, tell me your next ghost story or something. And Minami was so like the story was conveyed by Iwata. He maybe he like shared the story passed by Iwata or originally. I don't know. So anyway, friend from junior high school was obsessed with Minami's psychic abilities. So like somebody uh, who, who didn't know they were. Okay, so it's a person from the middle school days of Minami who doesn't know that Minami uh, was complicated. No, I guess they know because it's like double negative that in English you shouldn't do this, but this sentence has like a double negative. So it's like I guess because it says like um, who doesn't know about Minami's psychic abilities. A person who doesn't know about the psychic abilities, like such a person, doesn't exist. So I guess everybody knew about his psychic abilities. Yeah, that's the Japanese grammar I was talking about earlier. And Iwata spoke without much thought, but not so much. But for Minami, it wasn't such a pleasant experience. I guess the high school days or something. So I guess means like if the more people know about your psychic abilities, like the opportunities to interact with spirits is like increasing because of that. And the Minami, so as a long experience like that's why he was afraid of it, I guess, to to go deeper into it, I guess, from the psychic stuff. So Minami's job was to drive a cart to take out the trash to a warehouse a short distance away. So it started to like I guess he started to do a job about driving the cart to take out the trash, basically. And the second floor of the warehouse was used as a waiting room for the part-time workers. And when Minami looked up to the second floor and saw that the waiting room, which was usually dark, was still bright. So, wondering uh, if anyone was still there, he started taking the cart out to the warehouse. What? What's this spiritual energy? It's incredibly strong. It's coming from the warehouse, uh, like immediately after finishing moving the cart. Like a sudden attack came from the warehouse or something. A charge of strong spirit from the second floor waiting room. Uh-huh. So it considered all the possibilities as to why such a large amount of spiritual energy was coming from such a place, but I couldn't figure it out. He was worried about spiritual disturbances. That was Minami's next thought. Um, if an ordinary person were to come into contact with such a powerful spiritual energy, there was no way would get away with it. I guess, or could deal with it. I guess is a better way of saying it. Even Minami has uh, amazing spiritual energy. Spiritual energy that completely surpasses his abilities. Okay, so the energy coming from there. Even before that, his curiosity was stirred up, and the reason he couldn't help it was it like that he couldn't, I don't know, deal with it is just because he was a 19-year-old. I want to know the true nature of the spiritual energy. Yes, get on with it. Uh, so Minami muttered to himself, uh, the cart in the place and the stairs leading to. He started to slowly rise the stairs to the second floor. So every time he climbed the flight of stairs, silently enveloped Minami's entire body. And halfway up the stairs, Minami clearly grasped the properties of the spiritual energy. No way, is it a grudge? Oh, yeah, it was something. The story's name was something about the eternal grudge. Minami slowly climbed the stairs he had just climbed, and he thought she turned around and turned back. If I get caught in the grudge, I'd be in danger. I'm in danger. That's what psychics say. That it's important to analyze it. It's only natural, as misjudging the balance of the power can put lives at risk. However, next moment Minami seemed to have made up his mind and started climbing the stairs again. Or his mind, did I say her? I think it's a guy who said Kare before, like him. So he explained, here it says, he explained his behavior to himself. Or no, he couldn't explain his behavior to himself. Okay, because I guess it was irrational. In the end, Minami found himself standing in front of a waiting room against his will. When you get this close, Minami felt the grudge even more strongly and his body trembled. And Minami remained close-minded, or closed his mind. As if driven by something, he put his hand on the doorknob and slowly opened what was probably entrance to his destiny. Whoa! Surprise! Minami-kun! So Minami opened the door, and there were several people gathered, including Iwata, around a dial. Ah, okay, so was so yeah, Kokuri. Well, they were doing the Kokuri stuff, like the Ouija board stuff. I had the This is second Kokuri story, so they were doing the Ouija board stuff, trying to summon Kokuri or ask questions of him. It was a surprising sight for Minami. The dial-based seances are extremely dangerous. It's a seance, but its power is more powerful than usual, I guess. And the grudge, there's no way that a grudge could be summoned by simply communicating with a letter dial. You came to a good place. Kokuri-sama just won't go home. I guess like go away. So Iwata said to Minami in a pleading voice. So they were fucking around and now they're finding out. Ignoring the voice, Minami desperately tried to think of a reason why the terrible grudge surrounding the room was there. And at, at that time, was that time or whatever, that time, whoa, it moved on its own. So the 10 yen coin on the dial is the symbol of spiritual communication. Those who are doing it were not asking questions. So it started very fast, I guess, moving. Yeah, like they weren't asking questions, but I guess it was moving by itself. The coin. Uh, what this sentence? What? So it's writing Nakamura Korosu. Okay, kill Nakamura. Yeah, kill Nakamura. Minami is shocked, and so he wasn't summoned by the dial seance. The grudge was Nakamura, or it followed a thread and came there. So Nakamura is one of the guys there in the room, right? And what are these pictures? Do they have anything to do with the story? Nakamura participated in the seance, so yeah, it was one of the part-timers. Minami finally emptied his mind, wanting to discover the true nature of the grudge, and began to free his mind, open his mind, or no, like make it empty and become defenseless. Grudge hangs over his mind. Then Minami almost fainted many times, but he managed to synchronize his mind with the memories of the grudge and discover his true identity. The hatred that had repeatedly attacked Minami in an attempt to subdue his mind returned to its original state, surrounding the entire room when he finally managed to close his heart. When Minami looked around the room again, he saw Nakamura trembling violently. And So Minami found out the true nature of the grudge that was causing Nakamura's body to tremble and felt sorry for him, but at the same time looked at him as if to say, it can't be helped. There's nothing I can do. Shigata Ganayo. Okay? Just, jump out of the window, please. I can't help you. Spiritualists are now completely frightened by the lack of spirits and the ominous what? So the seancers were completely frightened by uh, the ominous predictions, and I guess the answer. I guess the answer. I think like the creepy answer or response from Kokkuri. In response to Iwata's repeated request, Minami finally came to his senses. There's no point in sending spirits back. Minami seemed annoyed as he explained how to enter the dial seance, then dismissed the group after emphasizing that there was no need to worry about Nakamura. So he knew the true nature of the grudge. It was some long. It's been a long time already. Have lukewarm feelings about the grudges, but he couldn't express it. It was getting stronger. Yeah. So I don't really know what's the identity of the grudge. Okay. So the year was 1600. Battle of Sekigahara. Okay. So Battle of Sekigahara. I think that was like the largest battle in the history of history until like World War One or something, or if I remember correctly, like the most men in a single battle. So the Eastern Army led by Tokugawa Ieyasu defeated the Western Army led by Ishida Mitsunari, in the battle, leaving many Western Army soldiers defeated warriors. So the future of the defeated warriors was tough. So it was done by villagers hoping to receive rewards because the Miyamusha hunters wanted their heads and spread their wings and the gangs around them. Very few were lucky enough to survive, and the majority ended up in enemy camps, surrendered or became prey to the villagers. The villagers hunt and died because of it. But there was one lucky person. Just as the villagers gave up on the day's hunt and returned to the village, the man climbed out of the deep hole he had dug and began to take action. Action Jackson. The fallen warrior's bloodshot eyes shined in the darkness. So, you peasant world, kill them all. So I guess he wanted to kill the peasants, filthy peasants. Is it too much to defend the location, or is that? Like, is there a place to where to flee, or like the guy had no place to flee? So yeah, and he felt cornered and had nowhere to go. So it was understandable that he thought this way. Yes, because he had no place to go and he was cornered. Of course, okay. In any case, didn't take long for the defeated warrior to discover a certain village. And the small village was a peaceful one with people going about their daily lives in moderation. The village chief had a gentle personality and didn't like pointless killing, so his villagers didn't participate in the hunt, in hunting soldiers. Uh, but that didn't matter to the defeated warrior. The defeated warrior's heart was now filled with a desire for revenge that could be called insane, and his eyes and arms were filled with nothing but a thirst for blood. So this created a tragedy. The defeated warrior secretly infiltrated the village. Okay, so it was several of them, hiding in the shadows of houses. Wait until the villagers were completely asleep, and then they had the opportunity. Uh, so when they saw there was no sign of human movement, they broke into houses, covered the villagers' mouths to stop them from screaming, and slit their throats with daggers. A great deal of blood was spilled, turning the area crimson red, and dyeing it's like a painting, dyeing it like a painting of hell, like a scene unfolded like a dyeing a painting of scene from hell, like dyeing, like with colors. I don't know. So the villagers had no time to scream, and one after another they were brutally murdered. Oh, this was a fine piece. Um, the defeated warriors cried out in surprise at the last remaining house. So there was a young and beautiful girl sleeping peacefully, and he he found, I guess, it. I like if found it standing or erect. So I guess it means like he was looking at the pretty girl and was getting hard. I guess that's what it means. Uh, so the defeated warrior picked up some hemp rope and began tying up the girl. And force, as he used more force, the girl woke up, screaming at the sight of the fallen warrior, and stained red with blood. The parents who were sleeping next to their daughter woke up in a shock upon hearing her scream. The next moment, the fallen warrior's sword flashed. The parents' heads were separated from their bodies and rolled to the dirt with a heavy thud. Murderer! Give my dad and mom back to me. The daughter, having witnessed the death of her parents before her very eyes, writhed in agony and cried bitterly. And the defeated warrior paid no attention to the girl's cries. He put his sword back into the sheath, licked his lips, and gave a faint smile. He approached the girl slowly and said in a whispered, "Ha ha ha, there's no need to panic, woman. I will take you to your parents' house right away." But before that, the defeated warrior slapped the resisting girl, knocking her away, treating her violently like a hungry beast waiting for prey. Uh, couldn't even look straight at the nightmarish time that passed. I guess the girl, she couldn't look straight as, stuff was being done to her. After a while, the defeated warrior left the girl and drew his sword and stood in front of her, brandishing it above his head. The fallen warrior looked at her with or I guess no, I think it's probably the girl with deep, sad, and resentful eyes. She looked at the warrior and screamed with a low voice. So you wicked bastard! Even if this body decays, my present life has become a grudge. I'm going to do that same thing and get away from it. I hope you sue it to you. So I guess she's, binding her soul. Yeah, her spirit will become, her soul will become, is filled with resentment and gonna, I don't know. Well, obviously grudge the samurai guy. Uh, when the screaming was about to end, the fallen warrior's large blade came down from above, and the girl was swung low and carried, so I guess he cut off her head or something. So the this warrior is a distant ancestor of the Nakamura family. And the true identity of the grudge was this girl whose parents were killed by a defeated samurai who and she had been raped and then killed. The grudge continued even after many years, and she continued to hold a grudge against the Nakamura bloodline. Uh, Minami was at a loss, like confused and stuff, what to do. There was nothing he could do on his own. Uh, but can I just abandon Nakamura? In the end, he couldn't find an answer, and from the incident, 3 months passed from that incident. It seemed like he had already forgotten about the people who were at the scene and the incident. and so okay, so everybody else there had forgotten about the incident except for Nakamura himself. Minami-kun, I have something to tell you tonight. Can I talk to you a bit? Um, come to think a bit, or to think of it, come to think of it, I should talk to Nakamura. But the night I guess, talk about the nights that the stuff happened with Nakamura when it all began. The story from here on is about Minami and the grudge, and it became part of a brutal battle. But that's all for now. I think I'll end the story here. Okay? Because until the end of this story, because we cannot be held responsible for any harm that may occur to those who listen. What? In other words, it's very dangerous. But if you take someone's advice, don't listen and instead go too deep into spiritual world. And please don't, or if you don't listen and you intend to go to that spiritual world, then make sure, don't be shy and make sure to listen to this story to the end. So I wonder if there's like, can I listen to the story later on? Like, is there like another candle that finishes the story or not? But yeah, that story was quite long and also like taxing. So I wanted to do one more story, but like there's no guarantee it's like a short one. So maybe I'll end the stream here, and I should go feed my son anyways. He's sleeping, but he's likely to wake up sooner than later if I don't go feed him soon. So I'm Adventure Argonaut. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.